Hello, my name is jpoole with the Lioce group. Today we're going to do a basic training on Power PDF Advanced 3.0. If you have standard or another version, you'll see a lot of similar features, but there will be a couple different things in the new version. So today we're just going to go over some of the basics. So I'm going to start by opening a file. So this is just a sample PDF document. If you notice with the new version, it actually tabs out the different documents. So at any time you can right click and have a new blank PDF, a couple things. You can combine all the documents that you have open in different tabs now. You can close everything, very similar to using Chrome or something like that. And another nice thing is you can quickly print all tabs. So you can open up as many documents as you want and quickly do some kind of group functions, which is nice. And of course, you can also open in a new instance if you want a separate window for it. You still can do that functionality. So we'll start with the home screen. Some of the main things I like to show. First is the document assembly. So this is what I call taking the gem clip off the document. So here I'm able to reorder my pages, and you'll see the little red line move as I grab, and you just have to grab at the number, and then that allows you to reorder pages. I can also right click and get a lot of different functionality as well. So I can extract, so if I need to extract a certain page or page range, just need to send those documents somewhere, I can do that. Insert, so I can hit insert, and then if I go to my samples and my PDF samples, right now I'm just seeing PDF documents, but I can actually go here to all files, and I can grab a Word document, an Excel document. We'll grab this form here. So I just control click those three different documents, hit open. It's going to grab that PDF and it's going to go ahead and convert in the background those documents to a PDF, the Word and Excel. What it's going to do is just use those print settings, whatever you have set up. So if you have a big Excel report, it's going to come in kind of wonky, but it's going to use those print settings to kind of bring those documents in. So here they are, and I can see them here, and I can reorder those. So maybe I want the pledge form first, and I want it after maybe the last page. So hit OK, and it's going to start popping those documents in. So here's that pledge form. Here's the Excel sheet I have from this page, and here's just that sample Word document at the end. So just a really quick way to kind of build documents. Another way you can do it is, let's say I want to add another pledge form, I can actually drag it right into here. So if I had it on my desktop or somewhere else, I can just drag right into here. So this is what I call kind of taking the gem clip off the document. This is where you can do a lot of manipulation. You can delete pages, rotate, replace, a lot of different things to save time here, which is really neat. So that's document assembly. Another way to do it, which people like, is this Pages panel. So it's the same thing as document assembly, just a little smaller, so you can kind of cycle through that way. If I right click, I get the same options, and I can also grab this number and still move pages around. You see the little red line, so I get the same functionality. So that's really two ways to really manipulate your document. So let's go to this next. I'm going to bring in one more document. There we go. So again, you can right click, but here's another way I can combine all the PDFs I have open right there. Rotating, so this is where I can rotate if it's scanned in wrong or something like that. I can do left, right. I can do certain pages or all my pages, so I can quickly fix those. The conversion tools. So these are pretty cool. This is where I can click Microsoft Word. I can say, let's do this current page, hit OK. It's going to take this and convert this into a Word document that I can edit. One caveat just to note is I want to make sure it doesn't have a lot of images. If it's mainly a text document, it does a lot better. Just kind of a forewarning. So here we go. And now this is just a Word document. I can go fix anything. There might be a couple mistakes it brought in, but I can do whatever I need to now, which is really nice. Not save that. Same with Excel. It helps if it has the lines to delineate where the data goes, but you can export it into Excel, PowerPoint, and then you've got some other ones like searchable PDF, things like that. If you do need to make a document searchable, that's where if you've ever gone and hit Control F and maybe I need to find undersigned, if you want to make it searchable, all you do is just click this right here, tell it which pages, and hit OK. You might need to go into your settings and turn off this automatically proofread results. What it does is it tries to check anything that is close to something else to make sure it's exactly right. It can take quite a while, and the technology is so good now where you don't really need that. So you can turn that off to speed up your OCR process. But that's just under settings. But you can pick a page and let it run. That's great if you scan in a document and it hasn't been OCR'd. You can just click that button and let it run through. Pretty quick on anything under 20 pages. If you get over, it can take a little more time. Edit text. So let me go back up to here. So edit text. If it was a digital document that was never scanned in, you get some extra little kind of controls. So I can extend this box out here and see the sample. You know, I can kind of add, and it uses that font if it has that font stored in it. I can move it around, reposition it. Just be wary if you do a lot of text editing, it'll throw off your whole formatting. So it's made for small price changes, little things. So that's just one caveat. An all-time favorite, and I'll go back real quick, is typewriter. So this allows you to literally type anywhere on the page. So just like in an actual typewriter. And then I could say, maybe I want it to be red, and I want that to be my default. So just change that to default. So now every time I type, it's going to be in that red font. So that way if I'm adding like a PM number or something on top of the document, it's got that red behind it, which is nice. And that's typewriter. I can click into typewriter and go back to a box later if I need to. But I can just start clicking around and filling out anything I need to. Reduce file size. That's great if you have something with a lot of images in it. So this allows you to, it's called downsampling. It makes the image not quite as clear, but makes the file size drastically smaller. Great for emailing and things like that. Splitting documents. This is something that's pretty neat because you can split by file size. So let's say you're emailing out a document and you know that the customer can't accept any emails over 5 megabytes. I can do 5 and it'll automatically split every time it gets to 5 megabytes. So that could be 10 pages on one document, it could be 100 on the next. It'll automatically split whenever it gets to 5 megabytes. You can split on blank pages. So if you insert a blank page between each document, it can see that and split automatically. It can split every 2 pages, every bookmark, a lot of different things you can do, kind of neat. You can play around with in there for splitting. And then search is just if it has been OCR search, which I think this one has. You can go, so employment, it's going to show you everywhere where it hits that EMP. That's just searching throughout the document. So this is kind of your home screen, your go-to buttons. You'll see some of those on other pages as well, so we'll go over those. So I'm going to go edit. Main thing here is you can crop. So you can, if you need to get rid of certain areas, you can do that. And you simply just draw a box over, let's say I want to crop everything outside of that. I hit enter. It's going to show where you're cropping. I can pick the pages I want to crop, just all pages or maybe just current, and I can hit OK. I need the document, so I'm not going to do that. There's that edit text. There's also an edit object. So if I click an image, I have a little, like I said, if it wasn't a scanned in document, I have some manipulation I can do. So I could shrink that logo maybe. Maybe I don't have the original, so I can go in here and shrink the logo. Or I could even get rid of the logo. And I'm going to undo that and bring it back. So I've got my logo back. And there's a couple other things you can do here, like flip it and rotate. Kind of neat little tools there. So that was just under edit and edit object. There's typewriter again. We've got headers and footers, so I can add a header and footer to the document. So if I want it to be in the top right, I can go here and say page number. And then you got some macros here that you can add. So basically it just automatically does things for you. So it'll be page number and it puts 1 there. So each page would have another 1 there. And I can hit OK or add to multiple documents. I can even create this as a custom. If I always do this to documents when they come in, I can make that a little preset so I don't have to do this every time. One other thing people like is under appearance, you can actually shrink the document. That way it's not printing over everything you have. Kind of neat. Same thing with Bates numbering, very similar. Add your files. And it's very similar. Same kind of thing. I can do the appearance, shrink. I can save a style, put my Bates number on there, and I'm good to go. So very similar to doing a header or footer. Links are pretty cool because I can draw a box over this logo, per se. And you got some options here, but I can have it open a file, start an email, things like that. But I can actually open a web link next. And then so when they click that, I can say mycompany.com, whatever your website is, hit OK. So now when they're working this document and they click, are you sure you want to go to that website? You can take them right there, which is kind of neat. So you can very easily install links into your document. You can also embed video, sound, and 3D objects. Haven't done that much, but that is an option as well. Alignment, this is just giving you like your grid if you're doing, building forms and stuff, rulers, very similar to Word if you've played around with that much. Measure, not a tool used often, but it's kind of neat. So I can go to something like Distance Tool, and I can go into my settings and say maybe on the drawing 1 inch equals maybe 1 foot. And then I can draw, and it's going to automatically throw the measurements up there for me. So kind of a neat little thing for doing some measuring. Not, like I said, not used a ton, but I just want to show it's there. Under View, so it's very similar to Word. Zoom in, zoom out, horizontal split, all that stuff you're used to. One new button here is Change Skin. So if you hate purple, you've got some options now. You can change the color. So that's kind of neat. Comment. This is where I use a lot of things here. So we can do a text box. So I can draw a text box over this. Test. And you can actually go in here and make the fill color white. And I can, make the white outside. And you can kind of make a white out and right over kind of feature. And I can set that as the default now. Okay. And so now, anytime I go do a text box, and I've kind of just made a little whiteout. It's not a permanent removal, but it's kind of neat for little small, quick edits. Callout boxes are always great. Check this out. And again, you can change all the colors, dashes, get it set like you like it and make a default. Drag and notes, you can do speech to a note on top of the document, which is nice. Spell check. I like highlight area a lot. So if I want to bring attention to an area, I can do that. Draw tools, so I've got everything from arrows, so I can do arrows pointing where I need to all kinds of different boxes, so even like a rectangle, it's got a little comment box that comes up, but so right there, properties, so I can actually make that a whiteout box, and I can make that the default. So now every time I draw, it'll bring that right up. This is a great time. So you noticed when I draw a box, so let's do this again, pops open this little notes box. If you want to get rid of that, which a lot of end users don't like that, it's very simple. All you do is you go File and then Options, and then right up here under Comment, there's a thing called Commenting, and if you just uncheck these 3 boxes, it can kind of take a little of that headache away. A lot of times during our install, we go ahead and do that. But now if I go draw a rectangle, it just does the box. It doesn't pop up those nagging little boxes, which sometimes people like them to put notes, but if you don't care, you can get rid of those. So that's comment. Notice that all these are, we call stickers or layers. They're not permanent. If you do want to make it a permanent thing, you can go here and flatten file. So it's got everything highlighted. I hit OK, and now that's part of the document. So it's been sealed as one of the layers. Just kind of a neat thing there. Some other neat basic features. Scan inbox. So you can have a folder out, a shared folder. So let's say you scan from a copier to a folder, and it's your personal folder. and you can hit this button here and it'll go right to that folder, and you can bring documents right into Power PDF. So that's kind of a neat little thing where you can have a little inbox where you hit that and it goes to your little personal folder and brings it right up. Favorites. I don't have any favorites currently, but if you had a form that you always filled out, so an example we always give is maybe a front desk receptionist has to fill out a visitor form or something like that. You can have that saved as favorites, and they just click that, brings up that form, they fill it out, save it somewhere. Next person comes in, they go right back to their favorites button. So that's kind of a neat thing. Convert Assistant, it's just another way to convert documents. You can use the buttons on the home screen, or you can go through the Convert Assistants. These are kind of some more advanced features. So let's go security. So with PowerPoint Advanced, you have legal grade redaction. So you can mark for redaction. So I can do that just by clicking mark for redaction and grabbing some text. And so now that's showing that it's marked for redaction. If the document's been OCR'd, I can actually search and redact. So hit OK. So I've got some options here. I can search the current document, selected ones, certain folder, but I can also search for multiple words. So if I had, I want to find every, maybe a couple people's names. So I can put jpoole, Emily Poole, a couple different people's names I can put in there. Typically you'll do like single words, so employee, and I can say match case, match whole word, we'll do that, and I'll hit that search and redact. It's going to find everywhere that it found employee. I found 32 cases of it. I can select all and mark for redact. So now you see everything pop up all over the page where it found the full word employee. And you notice it also found underneath that whiteout because, like I said, it's not a permanent removal. So everywhere it found employee, there it is. When I'm ready to make that permanent, I just hit apply redaction, hit apply, and it says it's okay. It says, would you like to remove additional features? Okay. If it has any bookmarks, any deleted content, everything from the metadata, it can remove everything that has to do and make that document where it doesn't have that information anymore. So I can hit remove, and okay. So now it's all been completely wiped, which is nice. See if I still have a handwritten signature. Nope. You can do handwritten signatures. So you can you can draw it with the mouse pointer. You can scan in a copy of your signature from any kind of scanner and crop it down and have it to where it puts it down. The cool thing is it actually removes the white background when you sign. It handles any kind of certificate signing, so like Adobe Digital Certificate, anything like that. You can create your own certificates. So that handles that for signing documents. If you have a DocuSign account, you can connect right into there and send or sign right out of here. Also, another great thing is for sending password protected PDFs. So if you see this little lock over here on the left, I can click this and I can just click interactive and say yes. Then I get some options. So I can pick my encryption, how encrypted I want it to be. I can allow, maybe the document can only be opened with the password 123. And then I can set a permission password of maybe 321. And with that permission password, maybe I say no printing's allowed and no changes. And maybe I don't want to enable them to copy text. So I hit OK. It's going to say, hey, what's the document opening password? So that's that 123. And then it says, hey, here's your permissions. What's that password? I'm going to say 321. Say OK. And the security takes place once I save. So I'm going to go File, Save As. Call it Lockdown. So that's been saved. So now if I went to open that document, and I can open it in Adobe Reader, anything, they all respect the same security. So enter password, so I have to know that 123. And then once it's open, notice a lot of stuff, my edits are all grayed out. If I go File, Print is grayed out. I can't do any of that. If I need to get rid of this, then all I do is go Manage Security and remove it. It says OK. And as long as I have that password I created, that 321, now I have a document that's back unlocked. So now I can print, because I have that master password. So that's security. So I'm going to delete a couple pages real quick. All right, so the last thing I want to end with, one other thing I forgot, sorry, stamps before I go into forms. Stamps are built in, pre-built in. You can click anywhere and you can have your name, and so I'll have that to where it saves jpoole. So it'll just put approved by jpoole, time and date, and that's there anytime I stamp. There you can create your own custom stamps. You've got initial and date, draft, urgent, approved, received, revised. You can put that on any document. So that's kind of neat. That's stamps right over here on the far left. Forms, my favorite feature, so I'll end with that. We all get forms like this that are, you typically in the past you'd print out, fill it out, scan it back in. Well, now that you have a tool like this, you can use typewriter, and so I could go, edit, typewriter, and type on every space. But the nice thing is, if this is something I do all the time, and I'm always filling out forms, I can actually use the forms typer, and for simple forms with lines and boxes and things like that, it can actually figure out the form for me. So now this can be opened in Adobe Reader or any other kind of software, and this is a fillable PDF form. It realized that those needed to be checkboxes. You'll notice some places it won't know to go 2 lines where it should go 1, but any of this stuff I can hit this little pointer here, and I can move things around. I can add any boxes I need to. So I've got signature boxes, radio boxes, drop down boxes. I can so if I needed a digital signature box right here, I've got tons of actions, and this is just basics. We won't go into too deep, but now I've created a signature box right there very easily. So you can build your own forms, and then I'll go ahead and reset this one, but now it's ready to be sent out to any end user to fill out, and I've created my own little digital form. So very easy there. So thanks for joining today. This was just a basic Power PDF Advanced 3.0 training. Please reach out to us if you need more in-depth training or if you have any questions. We'd love to talk to you and help you kind of solve those workflow problems. Hope you have a great day.